Hello, it's Jim Hutchins for the Jerusalem Connection Truth Report for this week. Well, this week the Trump administration is advancing its peace plan for the Middle East. He's sending its envoy over there. There's an article in the Times of Israel that covers this. The Trump administration's envoy to the Israeli-Palestinian peace process will travel to Israel next week, actually this week, to meet with officials as the White House prepares to release its peace plan and attempts to calm the situation at the Gaza border. Quote, I confirm that the Special Representative Jason Greenblatt will be traveling to Israel this coming week, this week. A White House official told the Times of Israel on Thursday, quote, this trip reflects the administration's commitment to productive engagement as well as the value it places on the understanding of the situation on the ground, especially amid recent tensions there. Greenblatt's agenda is not yet clear, but he's likely to meet with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, though not with the Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas. Relations between Washington and the Palestinians have been at a standstill since U.S. President Donald Trump recognized Jerusalem as Israel's capital and moved the American embassy there from Tel Aviv. Abbas and other Palestinian Authority leaders have refused. They've refused to meet with Trump officials ever since, including U.S. Vice President Mike Pence when he visited the region earlier this year. At the same time, last week, a very significant event took place, and that was this, that the U.S. consulate in Jerusalem and the U.S. embassy in Jerusalem were combined. Now, they've been separated for years. I can recall during the time we lived there in the 70s, that the United States consulate in Jerusalem was primarily a Palestinian embassy. That has ceased. By uniting the two bodies, says Chris Mitchell, writing for the Christian Broadcasting Network, by uniting the two bodies into one body means that there is no partition of Jerusalem anymore, and that there will be no Palestinian capital in Jerusalem, and Jerusalem is a united city as far as the Americans perceive it. In an article with CBN News, Chris Mitchell writes, U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo announced this week that it would merge its consulate and embassy in Jerusalem, a move that would have a major impact on the future of Jerusalem. For years, the U.S. consulate in Jerusalem has served as a de facto embassy for the Palestinian Authority, as I mentioned. This meant it answered directly to the State Department and bypassed the U.S. ambassador to Israel. Pompeo's announcement sends a signal that Jerusalem won't be a divided city. Now the consulate will come under the authority of the U.S. Ambassador David Friedman, which some consider a victory for him over the objections of the State Department. One Palestinian official says this does not create any facts other than the dismantling of the two-state solution. There was never going to be a two-state solution. As a matter of fact, the Palestinians don't want that. They want the obliteration of the present state of Israel to be replaced by a Palestinian state. The move is the latest decision by the Trump administration to change the status of Jerusalem. Last December, President Trump recognized Jerusalem as Israel's capital and in May he moved the U.S. Embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. This decision will make it harder, if not impossible, in the future for Jerusalem to be the capital of two states, one Jewish and one Palestinian. That's never going to happen. It may for a short period, but God has already declared who Jerusalem belongs to. As a matter of fact, it belongs to Him. Yahweh says in 1 Kings chapter 11, verse 36, Jerusalem, the city where I chose to put my name, and His name will be there eternally. It's called the city of the great king, Psalm 48. And in Zechariah 14, it is the place where Messiah will come. Well, Jesus will return to Jerusalem, and He will rule and reign for 1,000 years from Jerusalem. From Jerusalem. Not New York, not Rome, not London, from Jerusalem. And that is the truth.